Are you worried about the future of Canada's economy? You should be. The year 2025 has brought with it a chill in relations between Canada and the United States. This chill is not just a fleeting moment of diplomatic tension, but a significant shift in the economic landscape of North America. The roots of this discord can be traced back to a series of policy changes and economic decisions that have been brewing for years. This chill stems from the imposition of a 25% tariff on Canadian imports by the US government, effective yesterday. The decision, announced abruptly, sent shockwaves through the economic corridors of both nations. The tariffs cover a wide range of goods from raw materials to finished products, affecting industries across the board. These tariffs, a classic tool of protectionist trade policy, represent a significant escalation in economic tensions between the two neighboring countries. Historically, Canada and the United States have enjoyed a robust trade relationship, underpinned by agreements like NAFTA and its successor, the USMCA. However, this latest move threatens to unravel years of economic cooperation and mutual benefit. The immediate impact has been a wave of anxiety across various sectors of the Canadian economy, with businesses and consumers alike trying to gauge the full extent of the fallout. Manufacturing plants are seeing reduced orders, retail consumers are facing higher prices, and business executives are scrambling to find alternative markets and suppliers. The Canadian economy, already grappling with global economic uncertainties, now faces a new set of challenges posed by these tariffs. The Toronto Stock Exchange has seen increased volatility, and the Canadian dollar has fluctuated in response to the new trade barriers. These economic indicators reflect the broader uncertainty and concern that permeates the market. While the long-term consequences remain uncertain, one thing is clear: these tariffs have ushered in a period of significant economic turmoil for Canada. The coming months will be crucial as policymakers, businesses, and consumers navigate this new economic reality. The resilience of the Canadian economy will be tested, and the outcomes of this trade war will likely shape the future of North American trade relations for years to come. I'm sure you've heard the news. The specter of economic hardship looms large over Canada as economists scramble to assess the potential damage inflicted by these tariffs. Initial projections paint a grim picture, suggesting that the tariffs could erase 2 years of economic progress. This translates into a significant blow to Canada's GDP growth, which is now expected to slow down considerably in the coming quarters. The unemployment rate, a key indicator of economic health, is also predicted to rise sharply. Current estimates suggest an increase from 6.6% in January 2025 to approximately 8% by the end of the year. This surge in unemployment represents a significant hardship for Canadian workers and their families. You need to watch this if you struggle with rising costs in Canada. The impact of these tariffs extends far beyond macroeconomic indicators, reaching directly into the wallets of ordinary Canadians. As import costs surge due to the tariffs, businesses are left with little choice but to pass on these increased expenses to consumers. This has resulted in a noticeable rise in consumer prices across a wide range of goods, further fueling concerns about the cost of living in Canada. The most immediate and noticeable price hikes have been observed in essential goods such as groceries and gasoline. This inflationary pressure is putting a strain on household budgets, forcing many Canadians to cut back on discretionary spending and tighten their belts. I bet you didn't know that Canadian businesses are seeking new opportunities abroad. Faced with this sudden and significant disruption to their supply chains and cost structures, Canadian businesses are scrambling to adapt. The recent tariffs imposed by the United States have created a ripple effect, forcing companies to rethink their strategies and operations. This has led to a surge in innovation and creativity as businesses look for new ways to maintain their competitive edge. Some companies are exploring alternative sourcing options, shifting away from US suppliers in favor of domestic or international alternatives. This shift is not just about finding cheaper sources, but also about ensuring stability and reliability in their supply chains. By diversifying their suppliers, these businesses aim to protect themselves from future disruptions. This trend is exemplified by the case of Tin House Brewing Company, a craft brewery based in British Columbia. Tin House has been proactive in its approach, seeking out local suppliers to reduce dependency on international markets. This move not only supports the local economy but also ensures a more sustainable and resilient supply chain. In response to the tariffs, Tin House has made the decision to source more of its grain locally. This strategic shift allows them to maintain the quality of their products while reducing costs associated with importing raw materials. By fostering relationships with local farmers, Tin House is able to secure a steady supply of high-quality grain. Additionally, Tin House has decided to import its aluminum cans from China instead of the United States. This decision was driven by the need to find more cost-effective solutions without compromising on quality. By exploring international markets, Tin House can continue to offer competitive pricing to its customers. This shift reflects a broader trend among Canadian businesses seeking to mitigate the impact of tariffs by diversifying their supply chains and reducing their reliance on U.S. imports. As companies navigate these challenging times, they are finding innovative ways to adapt and thrive in a rapidly changing global market. The resilience and adaptability of Canadian businesses are paving the way for a more robust and diversified economic future. This is why you need to know about the growing trend of consumers embracing Canadian products. The imposition of U.S. tariffs has ignited a sense of patriotism among Canadian consumers. In a remarkable display of solidarity, Canadians have rallied around local businesses, prioritizing Canadian-made products over their U.S. counterparts. This shift in consumer behavior is evident in the surge in demand for Canadian-made goods, ranging from food and beverages to clothing and household items. This boycott of U.S. products extends beyond consumer goods. Canadians are also reconsidering travel plans, opting for destinations within Canada or other countries instead of the United States. This shift in consumer sentiment is driven by a complex mix of economic considerations and national pride. You need to hear this if you're a business owner or an investor. Retaliation and repercussions. The trade war escalates. The Canadian government has responded to the U.S. tariffs with retaliatory measures of its own, targeting $155 billion worth of U.S. goods. These counter-tariffs, while aimed at protecting Canadian industries and jobs, have further inflamed trade tensions between the two countries. This tit-for-tat exchange of tariffs has raised concerns about a potential trade war, with potentially devastating consequences for both economies. This trade dispute has implications beyond the immediate economic fallout. It has also strained the historically close relationship between Canada and the United States, casting a shadow over diplomatic ties and cooperation on various fronts. Are you worried about the future of Canada's key industries? Long-term impacts. Uncertainty looms over key sectors. While the immediate impacts of the tariffs are being felt across the Canadian economy, the long-term consequences remain uncertain. However, certain sectors, such as the automotive and energy industries, face particularly significant risks. These sectors are deeply integrated into North American supply chains, and the tariffs threaten to disrupt these established networks, potentially leading to job losses and reduced investment. The energy sector, a crucial pillar of the Canadian economy, is also grappling with the implications of the tariffs. The tariffs on Canadian energy exports to the United States could potentially disrupt cross-border energy flows, leading to higher energy costs for both countries. Are you worried about the impact of tariffs on the economy? Political challenges to the tariffs. Amidst the economic uncertainty and diplomatic tensions, there are glimmers of hope that these tariffs may not become a permanent fixture in the Canada-US trade relationship. Within the United States, there is growing opposition to the tariffs from both Democrats and Republicans, who are concerned about the economic fallout and the potential damage to key industries. Senator Tim Kaine has emerged as a vocal critic of the tariffs and is leading efforts in the Senate to challenge their legality. Senator Kaine argues that the Trump administration's justification for the tariffs, citing fentanyl smuggling from Canada, is baseless and not supported by evidence. I'm sure you've heard the news. Navigating the turbulent waters of trade disputes. The imposition of U.S. tariffs on Canadian imports has plunged the Canadian economy into a period of significant uncertainty and turmoil. These tariffs, aimed at protecting U.S. industries, have had far-reaching consequences that extend beyond the immediate economic impact. The tariffs have triggered a chain reaction of negative consequences, including rising consumer prices, job losses, and a general sense of instability within the market. Canadian businesses, particularly those reliant on exports to the US, have been hit hard. This has led to a slowdown in economic growth as companies struggle to adapt to the new trade environment. The ripple effects are felt across various sectors, from manufacturing to retail, creating a challenging landscape for economic recovery. While Canadian businesses and consumers are adapting to the new reality, the adjustments are not without difficulty. Companies are seeking new markets and diversifying their supply chains, while consumers are facing higher prices for everyday goods. The long-term impacts of this trade dispute remain unclear. Economists and analysts are closely monitoring the situation, but predictions vary widely. Some believe the economy will bounce back stronger, while others foresee prolonged challenges. As Canada navigates the turbulent waters of this trade dispute, it must remain resilient and adaptable. The ability to weather this storm will depend on strategic decisions made by both government and industry leaders. The future of its economic relationship with the United States hangs in the balance. Diplomatic efforts and negotiations will play a crucial role in determining the outcome of this dispute and the path forward for both nations. The outcome of this dispute will have profound implications for the Canadian economy and the lives of ordinary Canadians for years to come. It is a pivotal moment that will shape the future of trade and economic stability in the region.